What's up, guys? Doing final preparations. I had quite a few hiccups right as I was getting started, unfortunately. Alright, who we got in so far? What's up, Luke Duke and Javier? We got Richard as well. Hey, Richard. Baronator. I hope the date was good last night. Hey, it's Maddie. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? Hey, Simon. Yeah, we can do Battleship today. Guys, sorry I was a little late today. I've had quite a few hiccups right before getting started, like losing one of my phones that I use for the timer. I also dropped 800 bingo tokens, and I haven't cleaned them up yet because I don't have time to clean them up, so I will have to, hey W, welcome back. I will have to go around the pile of, oh my god, they're everywhere. I'll have to go around that today. Happy Thanksgiving. Is it Thanksgiving? No, it's October. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. One person will enter the Hall of Champions today, so I do have to try to be on my game a little bit. A lot more than lately. The more relaxed board streams are not the same as this one. Hey, Sasso, welcome. Empty my vacuum, then vacuum it up and take them out. I am not vacuuming my tokens. I will just clean them later. I accidentally dropped 800 of them. Well, 750 to be exact. Canadian Thanksgiving, welcome. Or happy Canadian Turkey Day. I don't know if you guys eat turkey. Hey, Plastic. Elston, welcome to the live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. It's a fair, fun, family-friendly environment. We like to keep it that way. So that way people from all around the world and all ages and all whoever the heck you are can come, play, and have fun. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I say that, and I'm missing one thing. We're going to go ahead and get started. Who will enter the Hall of Champions? Welcome to the live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. One person will enter the Hall of Champions today. 1 hour and 55 minutes to 2 hours into the stream. More tokens everywhere. All right, guys. Starting it off good. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start it off. I have a slightly new system. It probably looks the exact same for you guys, but it's very different for me. I had to do a lot of changes. This should actually be hopefully a little bit more fluid for me. Besides dropping 800 bingo tokens, actually, it's not going well so far, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh, man. All right, guys, we're going to actually go ahead and we're going to start off with Guess That Balloon. It's been a while since we've done Guess That Balloon, and we're going to do, are you feeling better tonight? Plastic, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I'm feeling much, much better. Feeling much better tonight. Thank you so much. Luke Duke, do I want to join your stream? I am so sorry, Luke Duke. I actually cannot do anything for fun for the next 6 to 24 months until I'm where I want in life, so I will not, unfortunately, be able to join your stream. I am working 7 days a week from almost the moment I wake up until the moment I go to sleep for the next half a year to 2 years. Yeah, I just want to get to where I'm going in life. and then I'll ease off the gas a little bit. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and play Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I'm trying to make within 2 guesses will get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, holy cow. Yeah, weather is pretty rough today. Weather's pretty rough today, that's for sure. Sword it is. Oops. All right, easy stuff right there. All right, that is a point for Luke Duke. Got it first on my screen. Luke Duke, let me go ahead and get your piece out. Guys, today we are going to be playing King of the Hill as the bonus game. I have a random timer that nobody, including myself, knows when it's going to go off. However, it will go off between 5 and 10 minutes, but the exact time, nobody knows. Hey, Sky. Welcome to a live game show where I host to keep score. You play by commenting. I believe you've been here before. For now, Luke Duke, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. You're number 1 on the scoreboard. That does not matter for you. However, since you have your own piece, Luke Duke's piece in this game is the doggo. What do I do when the timer goes off? Simon, the most recent person I said gets a point. Thank you. I totally forgot. The most recent point I said gets a point. When the timer goes off, they get a bonus point on the scoreboard. It's the King of the Hill, and the king is whoever most recently got a point, which is currently Luke Duke. Continuing on to another round. I'm so sorry, I just forgot one thing. Continuing on to another round of Guess That Balloon. The first, actually, we have a lot of players in, so we're going to be giving 2 points out, which means 2 people will throw or will share the crown. I'm from the United States. So the first 2 people to correctly guess what I'm trying to make will get a point on the scoreboard. However, you're only allowed 2 guesses per player per balloon. Simon, butterfly is your first guess. You only get 1 more, and I haven't even blown it up yet. Colors do not matter. I hope everybody's having a great day today on this beautiful Saturday, Sunday, Monday it is, I believe, actually. Sometimes I forget what day it is because they don't matter to me. Hey Chris, welcome to a live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. Your Pookie Bears, welcome back. It's been a long time since you've been here. Welcome back, your Pookie Bears. We're playing Guess That Balloon. First person to correctly guess. First 2 people to correctly guess what I've made will get a point on the scoreboard. You are only allowed 2 guesses. It is done. Chris, this is a family-friendly... Oh, my God. Wait, you remember me? I do, your Pookie Bears. I do. Snake is correct. I'm actually going to check Pookie Bears. Chris, you're welcome to stay and play. However, this is a family-friendly environment. Please don't put anything in the chat you wouldn't say to a 7-year-old. Your Pookie Bears, I do remember. You're not on the Hall of Fame yet. Let me go back and see who the first 2 people to say Snake were within their first 2 guesses. Simon, you said Snake first. However, it was not within your first 2 guesses, so you do not get the point. Sasso and Luke Duke. Sasso, welcome to the scoreboard. I have to get your Nido Queen. Sasso's Nido Queen. The Nido Queen represents Sasso in this game. Sasso, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. And Luke Duke, you also got a point. So you are also going to get that. You guys, since I'm giving 2 points out, 2 people will share the throne when that random timer goes off. Whoever are the current kings or queens will get a point. What Sasso piece? It is I think it's a Pokemon called Nidoqueen. What's the record? The high score is 82 points within the first 2 hours. After the 2 hours plays, we'll do bonus. High score in the Hall of Champions closes. One more round of Guess That Balloon, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. The first 2 people to correctly guess what I'm trying to make will get a point on the scoreboard. You were only allowed 2 guesses per player. That's insane. Yep, that is Javier holding that record. The high score is 82 points. All right, first 2 people correctly guess. The Swan is correct. Let me see who the first 2 people to say it is. It would be Richard and Javier. Richard, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. And Javier, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are also entered in as red. Anybody who has a name written in black on the scoreboard will be competing to enter the Hall of Champions. Whoever has the most points by the end will enter the Hall of Champions, who's not already on there. And we have to get you guys' pieces out. Richard, you're represented by this little green guy. And Javier, of course, you are the GOAT. Moving on to another round, we're going to go ahead and play a different game. As per requested, we will play Battleship at some point today, probably in about 10-15 minutes. We'll play Battleship. For now, we're actually going to move on to Think and Sync, which is, I think, slowly gaining its spot as one of the new favorites on the show. Think and Sync is a fun game. It's where I have you guys name something, and the first 2 people to say the same thing will both get a point. See, it's Maddie's favorite. I am also enjoying it as well. The first 2 people to say the same thing in the chat will both get a point on the scoreboard. Your guys' answer must be in the realm of the question, but the answer itself does not have to be correct. It just has to be in the realm. All right, name a flower for a bride's bouquet. Anything but Mad Gab. Mad Gab, I think, is one of the least favorites. Plastic Loves, Tricky Tribon. We have Rose, Maddie, and Luke to Duke. Javier, Justifiable is your favorite. I love hearing that, Javier, because I made Justifiable Thoughts myself for the show, so that was a fun compliment. Thank you. Maddie and Luke to Duke. It's Maddie. Welcome to the scoreboard. I know you prefer to be called Maddie, so sometimes I have to remember that. Maddie, you're number 5 on the scoreboard, and you're currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. And since you're number 5 on the scoreboard, Maddie, you will have the number 5 token. And Luke to Duke, you also got a point. So let me go ahead and put your little dog back up here. That makes me mad and laugh. Funny. Oh, and the timer has gone off. Oh, I forgot to hit the loop button. Gotcha. Here we go. Sorry, technical difficulty. My apologies on that. All right, the timer went off, and Luke to Duke and Maddie shared the throne, so they will both get a bonus point. Yeah, so Richard, sometimes it's hard for me to interpret the chat accurately because I'm reading it so fast and trying to do all this stuff. So I definitely do make mistakes. All right, guys, the timer's back on. We're back in business. Let me make sure that's go up, and we're gonna keep going. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first 2 people to say the same thing will both get a point on this scoreboard. Name a person who performs the wedding ceremony. I the only one that heard? I forgot to hit the Luke button. It's possible I definitely said that. We have bride, preacher, pastor, minister. We're going to go ahead and give it to Minister. Green Submarine, welcome back. That's a point for Sasso and Javier. On a technicality, I believe a preacher and a minister are not the same thing because I am a minister. I'm an ordained minister, but I am not a preacher. So it's going to go to Sasso and Javier. All right, moving on to another round of Think and Sync. We're the first two people to say the same thing. Did I clean the board? It looks all shiny. Yes, I did, Plastic. I've learned that if I just take some rubbing alcohol and when the board's flat and pour it on there and take a rag and just like clean it really, really good, I think I've only tested it a couple times. I'm removing a lot of the oils that are left behind by the markers, and then my markers are going back to working, so it's super nice. Yes, so I cleaned it. It is super shiny. That's why I even had to rewrite scores. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and move back on to Across the Pond. It is. We're going to move back on to Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Your answer must be in the realm of the question. It does not, however, have to be correct. Name a popular honeymoon spot. Whoa, Luke Duke, enjoy that speed cubing tournament. Oh, event. That sounds pretty cool. We have Cuba Beach back. Welcome back. Hawaii. I think you meant Hawaii. France. Cubs. Hawaii. I think. Met Beach autocorrect. All right, I will give it to you, Maddie. We do go off of. Oh, I could see that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Luke Duke, and it's Maddie. I think Sasso meant Hawaii, so I was about to give it to Hawu and Javier, but we're gonna give it to Luke Duke and Maddie. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. Guys, I did buy a mic. However, it has very bad quality. So I'm actually going to have to return it and get a different one. And I will not be using it today. Anyway, we're going to move on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Name a sport that requires boots. Yeah, I just got another mic, so that one is in the mail, and I have to return the one I just got because I got it yesterday. It came in, and I tried it, and it was very, very bad. We have football, Maddie and Richard. Maddie, you're doing great today. You're in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions, but remember, it's not over till it's over. People can always come in and dominate. Richard, I love your new character. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Where's Gogs? Not liking to be here. That's a good question. He even responded. He'll probably be here. He's probably wrapping up some stuff. Name a sport with 4 quarters. I was thinking of like the coins, and I was really confused. Name a sport with 4 quarters. The first two people to say the same thing will get a point. Basketball. Luke Duke and Richard. Where are you, Richard? Right there. Luke Duke, right there. All right. Richard holding the throne. Maddie's getting removed by Luke Duke. Moving on to another round. 4 quarters. Yeah, I couldn't answer that. I'll tell you that. I would not have been able to. Name a famous boxer. What is quarters? I guess it's like they split the game up, I think, in quarters, as in like so they'll take a break they'll take like 3 breaks, and the halftime I think is a longer. The break that splits the game in the middle is even longer. So we have Ali, W, and Richard. The only sport I did that I was any good at and paid attention to was wrestling. I did basketball and soccer, but I was horrible at those. Horrible at them. W. W, welcome to the scoreboard. You're number 6 on the scoreboard, and as a former champion, you are entered in as red. Since you're number 6 on the scoreboard, you'll have the number 6 token, and since you're a former champion, your token will be red. I do have to see who else got the point. It was Richard. Richard's holding the throne today. W, you are the number 6 token. I don't even know how well you guys can see this. I think I should. I've thought about having a little stand right here for this to put it right in front of the camera. However, if I dropped one of the pieces on the other side, it would take some time away from the show. So this little stand is what you guys get for now. I'll figure out something. Moving on to another round. You can see fine. Perfect. Perfect. No, I get it, Sasso. I get it. 4 parts, I guess we call them corners. All right, we have Richard and W. We're on the hill when the timer went off, so they're the current kings. W, you're getting a bonus point, and as are you, Richard. Taking the opportunity whilst Gox isn't here. Fair enough. Moving on to another round. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first 2 people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Do another card, and then we're going to move on to another game. Name something that honks. Car, W, and it's Maddie. All right. Maddie kicking off Richard. Taking the throne. The throne is occupied by W and Maddie right now. W, you're going to get a point, and Maddie, you're going to get a point. Maddie, you're at 5 points. Guys, throughout the game show, I more often than not read the scores of the people who are competing to enter the Hall of Champions, just to keep instead of everybody's score, just to keep the game fluid a little bit. Also, because that's the most competitive part of the first 2 hours. Honks, not haunts. I did. You said ghost, Sasso. Name something that haunts. That's what you thought I said. Name something that haunts. That's ghost. Yep. That's really, really, really funny. Oh my God. Okay. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. I didn't even say that you said ghost. I don't know how I missed that. That's hilarious. I got half an hour until I go live. Awesome, Luke Taduka. I hope it goes well. Name a baking utensil. I want to thank you guys again for being an awesome community because you guys helped me reduce a lot of my stress in life. So thank you guys again. Super fun. Name a baking utensil. Spoon, W, and Luke Taduka. All right, we have Luke Taduka kicking off Maddie from the throne. Luke Taduka and W. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to play Family Feud. I think. Yes. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and play Family Feud. Plastic, have you tried resetting the stream, or make sure you're on Wi-Fi and not data. W, you love this game? Awesome. Oh no, Maddie doesn't like this game. Uh-oh. All right, this is a weird question, but we're going to go ahead and ask it. Actually, we're going to skip it. Skipping that one too. Moving on to another round of Family Feud. Up to 5 points can be handed out to the players. I am only giving 1 point per answer. The first person to tell me an answer close enough to something on here will get a point. 5 points can be handed out. Name something parents tell their children not to touch. Well, Family Feud is too hard for me to give 2 points out per answer because I cross off the answer. So I'm always only going to give 2 points out. I'm sorry, 1 point per answer out for Family Feud. Otherwise, it's going to be too hard to keep track of. For now, at least. That could change, but... Name something parents tell their children not to touch. You guys have some good answers. Sasso, that was oddly specific. Oh, man. All right. Gonna go ahead and put done in the chat. I'm only accepting the answers above when I said done, and I will refresh my screen to make sure I have all of them. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Welcome back. Welcome back, Johnny. Good to see you back. Hope you're doing well. Starting at the top, we're playing around a Family Feud. We just finished the round. We have W, you said stove. Stove would be correct. Now, only one person will have the throne throughout the Family Feud. Plastic, you said fire. Fire/matches is on here. Plastic, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. Plastic, you're number 7 on the scoreboard. However, that doesn't matter for you because you do have your own token, or your own character. I believe it was Tweety. Oh no, there's my piece of paper. I'm going to double check. I'm pretty sure you were Tweety. Yes, cool. And we're going to go ahead and keep going. And Plastic, you were on the throne. You held the throne when the timer went off, so you're going to get the bonus point. I'm only reading the answers that are correct, so that way we can keep going. Plastic, you said electric sockets, and electrical outlets are on here. So you got that point as well. You guys had some good answers. The other 2 answers that I did not see. I said glass, but autocorrect glad. Thank you for pointing out. It's not on here, but thank you for pointing that out. Especially during Family Feud, I go so fast, it's hard for me to catch sometimes when things were autocorrected. So that's a good way to cover yourself. The other 2 answers were knife and an iron. So they were not gotten, and if somebody happened to said something extremely close to that above when I said done, then I can go back and give it out. However, for now, we're going to go ahead and move on to another round. Moving on to another round of Family Feud. Up to 8 points can be handed out to the players. Name a place a wife goes to let off steam when she's mad at her husband. Name a place a wife goes to let off steam when she's mad at her husband. You guys are allowed as many guesses as you would like. One guess per comment, as many comments as you would like. A lot of good answers. Makes him leave. All right, we're going to go ahead and put done in the chat. When you guys hear this buzzer and when I put done in the chat, I only accept the answers above when I say done. All right, starting at the top. Name a place a wife goes to let off steam when she's mad at her husband. We have Richard, you said spa. Spa is on here. You're going to go ahead and get that bonus point. W, you said bedroom. Bedroom is on here. You're going to get that bonus point. I do have to correct the board. W, you said shower. Bathroom is on here, so I'll go ahead and give that to you. Still holding the throne. Javier, you said bar. Bar/club is on one line. You're going to go ahead and get that. I do want to remind you guys that whoever I verbally said got the last point is the current person holding the throne, even if I haven't replaced the token yet. So the timer goes off of who I said got it. Because I've had it happen to where I write the point, the timer went off, and I didn't switch the tokens yet. So it's a verbal thing. Maddie, you said friend's house. Friend's house is on here. You're going to go ahead and get it. W, you said mall. Mall is on here. Plastic, you said gym. Gym is on here. Johnny, I appreciate it as well. And the last answer that I do not see on here is kitchen. I am checking, don't see it. Restaurant does not count for it, or cafe, but some of these answers are wild. I agree, Maddie. Some of those answers were wild. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to a different game. That one can be a little bit slower at times, so I try to not do too many rounds of it in a row. All right, speaking of a slow round, we're actually going to go ahead and, as per requested, and I don't want to forget because it's been a long time since we've played it, we can play Justifiable Thoughts next. After this, we're going to go ahead and play Battleship. Do not start guessing yet. Do not start guessing yet. I have to explain the game real quick. For anybody new here, that is. Alright, guys, we're going to play Battleship. 30 points, up to 30 points can be handed out to the players. How Battleship works is I have a 10 by 10 grid with ships on them that looks something like this. And you guys have to guess where I hid my ships. The ships can span multiple squares. You guess by pairing a letter with a number. Please do the letter first. For example, you could say A1, and if you hit the ship, you get a hit. If you don't hit the ship, I just say miss. You could say A1, A10. You could say C1 or J10. However, you're allowed as many guesses as you would like, but only one guess per comment. Go ahead and spam the comments. I'll give you guys a few seconds. Who is Tweety Bird? That would be Plastic. Plastic, you're going to go ahead and get the bonus point for being on here. All right. We are not starting yet. Not starting yet. This star. Okay, go ahead. Just go. My bad. I think I might have actually said something that made you guys think I would have wanted you to start. I do apologize. Just go ahead and start. I will be reading all of them until I say done. All right, I'm only accepting answers above when I said done in the chat. Since we have a lot of players, you're only getting 1 point per hit. And so only the first person to hit that part of the ship will be getting a point. We're going to go ahead and start at the top and see what we have. Bye. Have a great one, Johnny. Starting at the top, we have, Maddie said, I won. I won is a miss. And then A4, miss. B4, miss. Much better way to do this. F2, miss. I2, hit. That is a point for Maddie. A2, hit. That is a point for W. B6, miss. A2, hit, but it was already a hit. I3, miss. F2, miss. A2, hit, but it was already a hit. Have a good one, Johnny. W, you said J5. J5, miss. I4, miss. C4, miss. G8, hit. That is a point for W. D5, miss. I5, miss. E5, hit. That is a point for Sasso. D4, miss. C7, miss. I6, miss. E4, hit. That is a point for Javier. Make sure this volume's up. Okay. G2, miss. D6, miss. E9, miss. I7, miss. F4, miss. G4, miss. I8, hit. That is a point for Maddie. C2, hit. That is a point for Sasso. J10, miss. H4, hit. That is a point for Javier. I9, miss. I4, miss. D3, miss. A8, hit. That is a point for W. J4, miss. H1, hit. That is a point for Richard. D8, miss. I10, miss. F4, miss. I1, miss. F5, miss. F8, miss. Last one, I2, hit, but it was already a hit. All other answers are above when I said done. Hey, Tim, welcome back. Bingo. Let me go ahead and catch up with the chat real quick. Tim, we were just playing a, they're not very quick, but a round of Battleship, where if you correctly guess, the round is over now, but if you correctly guess where I hid my battleships, you get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 30 points can be handed out during a round of Battleship. Sometimes we play more than one round of the same board on the stream. I always reset the board between streams. Almost always, at least. If we haven't played in a while, sometimes I leave it. If you're the first person to hit it, you get a point. You allow as many guesses as you'd like. We are done. All right. With that round, though. Sounds funny, yo, bingo. It was. Hey, Jeff Mom, welcome back. Can't stay long. Maybe I'll catch everyone next time. No problem. That's why I try to do multiple days a week. It's good to see you, Tim. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Appreciate it. Guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to another game. We're going to go ahead and play Tri-Bond. We're not playing Tricky Tri-Bond. We're just playing Tri-Bond. We will get a couple rounds of Tricky Tri-Bond in today, as per requested by Plastic. All right, the first two people to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. We have Cub, Boy, Girl. Scout, Plastic, and Javier. And since we're back to giving 2 points out, two people will share the throne. Plastic and Javier are currently sharing the throne. Moving on to another round. Oh, and we have Plastic and Javier getting the bonus points for being on this throne as the timer went off. I might have a technical difficulty. Nope, looks like we're good. Moving on to another round of Tri-Bond. The first two people to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Swanee, Arkansas, Nile. River, Javier, and Plastic again. Javier and Plastic again. Good stuff, so that means I get to keep your guys' stuff right there. Plastic, you're getting a point, and Javier, you're getting a point. Moving on to another round of Tri-Bond. The first two people to tell me what these three things have in common to get a point. We have Porterhouse, London Broil, Salisbury. Did you say Batman? Steak, Javier, and Sasso. Close, close. Moving on to another round of Tribon. We're going to play this card and move on to another game. A couple more rounds of this. The first two people to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point. Diving, ironing, chalk. Oh, man. That is a point for Javier and Sasso. It was bored. Yeah. Sasso, Javier. And you guys are already on the throne. Autocorrect can be tricky. I do know some people prefer to play with autocorrect off. However, when we play Password, which we might play today, Password is definitely a game where you would like to have autocorrect on because it do not allow typos. Moving on to another round of Tribon. Last round of Tribon before we switch it up a little bit. The first two people to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point. Clifford the Big Red Dog, fire engines, cherries. Red, plastic, and Javier. Moving on to another game. All right, we had two games requested, Justifiable Thoughts and Tricky Tribon. We're going to go ahead and play one card of Tricky Tribon, and then we're going to move on to Justifiable Thoughts until the end of the break. The first two people to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point. I have to do a timer on Tricky Tribon because it's tricky. We have calcite, gypsum, barrel. Calcite, gypsum, barrel. If two people, the first two people within the next 60 seconds to tell me. All right, rock. Close enough. It's minerals or ores. I'll give it to rock. That'll be a point for Sasso and Javier. All right. Javier holding down the throne. Sasso and Plastic continuously pushing each other off of the throne. Drywall is made of gypsum. Oh, is it really? I didn't know that. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, you learn something often. Moving on to another round of Tricky Tribon. The first two people to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point. I don't think I'll have to do a timer. We have moth, meat, medicine, but just in case. Moth, meat, medicine. Guys, it is never a letter. Ball is correct. Sasso and Jeff Mom. Good to see you again, Jeff Mom. I hope you guys' stream's been going well. It looks like your guys' channel's getting a lot bigger, which is awesome. Super happy for you guys. We have Sasso and Jeff Mom. Got it. Sasso, you're staying on. Jeff Mom, you are kicking Javier off with your bass. And I do have to add you the scoreboard. Welcome back. And welcome to the scoreboard as a former champion. I was so confident in M until I saw ball. That's funny. As a former champion, Jeff Mom, you are entered in as red. Oh, and we have Sasso and Jeff Mom are getting the bonus point for holding down the throne. Moving on to another round. I think we have one more on this card. Yes. The first two people to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point. There are two answers I will accept. Aunt, son, cousin. Aunt, son, cousin. All right, relatives and family were going to be the two answers that I were going to accept. So there's a point for Javier, and it's Maddie. Javier and Maddie. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to justifiable thoughts for a few minutes before we do the break. All right, guys, how justifiable thoughts works is I have you guys name something, and the first two people to give me a justifiable answer will both get a point on the scoreboard. However, your answer, whether it's a word or a sentence, must start with the random letter that I choose. Oh, that makes sense. The other son. All right, let me go get some inspirational cards because I do make these up on the spot, so I appreciate your guys' patience. Name something most people don't love, starting with the letter T. Name something most people don't love, starting with the letter T. All right, we definitely have some answers that are acceptable, so I'm going to go ahead and put done in the chat, but we start at the top. Remember, you guys are allowed as many answers as you would like. However, on rounds where I give multiple points out, 1 point per player, but you can still get as many guesses as you would like in case your first guess is not right. Richard, you said TV. I think most people love TV. Although if we go off the definition of love, they probably don't actually love TV, but they get a lot of joy out of it. I don't know if they get it to the point that they love it. So, Richard, I'll give it to you for TV. Nobody likes taxes. I agree, John. Nobody likes taxes. Richard, I think most people enjoy TV, and most people like TV, and most people are infatuated. A lot of people are infatuated by TV, but I would say most people do not love it. I hope you love your animals and your family and your friends, but I hope you don't love TV to that level. But some people do, but not most people. Richard, you're going to get it. And Plastic, you said trash? Most people don't love trash. Plastic, I'll go ahead and give that to you. All right, guys, I do want to let you know, when playing Justifiable Thoughts, if only one person has the crown or is on the throne, and the timer goes off before I announce the next person, then only the one person will get the point. All right, moving on to another round. What were some of the other answers? Tornadoes and torpedoes to tsunamis. There's a lot of toes is a funny toilet. Yeah, taxes is probably the least loved here. Maybe tornadoes are hated a little bit more than taxes. I don't know. Actually, I think taxes are actually unanimously hated more than tornadoes. So that was a good answer. Moving on to another round of justifiable thoughts. The first two people to say the first two people to give me a justifiable answer, starting with the random letter that I choose, will both get a point on the scoreboard. All right. Name something you should not throw in a whale's blowhole starting with the letter B. Name something you should not throw in a whale's blowhole starting with the letter B. That's the hole at the top that they breathe through. Yes, horrible answers. I mean, great answers. All right, we have definitely justifiable answers. And in fact, now that I think about it, I don't think you should throw anything in a whale's blowhole. So the first two answers that start with a B will get a point because there's nothing you should throw in a whale's blowhole. That's how they breathe. Maddie, you said a butt. All right, you should not throw a butt in a whale's blowhole. Maddie, you're going to go ahead and get the point. And Sasso, you said a ball. Sasso, you're going to get a point. I agree. You guys should not throw anything in a whale's blowhole. All right. Maddie and Sasso. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause the timer because we're at the break time. We're going to be taking a 5-minute break. What else did you guys say? I'm not reading some of these out. All right. You guys had great answers. You shouldn't throw any of that stuff into the whale's blowhole. Guys, we're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break. The champion will be announced 58 minutes from now. From now, the new champion, which, Maddie, you're currently in the lead. You're at 10 points. And if anybody, now remember, it's not announced till it's announced. You're in the lead with 10 points. We're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break, and I have to not ramble because at this format, especially the first 2 hours, I do like to be strict with the times, and I do like to be strict with the format because people compete to enter the Hall of Champions, and I want the competition to be fair, and to be fair, we have to stick to a schedule and a flow. So we will be back in 5 minutes. How it works is at the start of the gong, the 5 minutes begins. At the sound of the air horn, I have chips falling everywhere. The break is over. I do keep a stopwatch on me so that way I can keep track. It's going to go ahead and begin right now. And I'll keep a phone on me so I can keep chatting with you guys. Hey, it's Shannon. I host the games and keep score while you play them by commenting. If you would like to support the channel and enter the Hall of Supporters, my Cash App is Shannon1742. My PayPal and Venmo are mindfuldiscovery@yahoo.com. These should be pinned in the comments. If you are interested in any of the games played on this show or the props used, I have affiliate links in the description. I earn a commission for each product bought at no extra cost to you. Another way you could show support is by purchasing my book, Beyond Solitaire, 52 Unique One-Player Games. This is a book on learning the rules for 52 solitaire-type card games with various levels of difficulties, chance, and skill. I wrote detailed instructions for new and experienced players to be able to learn these games, along with setup pictures for examples. Beyond Solitaire, 52 unique one-player games is available on Amazon as a paperback book and on the Kindle store. It is also enrolled in the Kindle Unlimited program. We have a minute left in the break. Who will enter the Hall of Champions tonight? The three key principles for this game show. We want to be fair, we want to have fun, and we want to be friendly. I personally want to thank this community and everyone in the Hall of Fame for helping develop this positive game show experience. And we're back. All right, we're going to continue on. The champion will be announced in 51 and a half minutes. I'm going to go ahead and read the scores as per usual. Picking up these tokens later are going to suck. They're everywhere. 750 I dropped. 750 bingo tokens I dropped 1 minute, 4 minutes before starting. I'm going to go ahead and read the scores. So far, we have Luke Duke has 7, Sasso 10, Richard 7, Javier 13, Maddie in the lead for entering all the champions with 10, W 11, Plastic 10, and Jeff Mom 2. Hey, Gabby, welcome back. Welcome back, Gabby. Gabby, you're number 193 on the Hall of Fame out of 195. It's been a slow route to 200, but we're 5 new players away from hitting 200. I'm going to go ahead and resume the timer and make sure the volume's up because I do sometimes forget that. When we are playing King of the Hill bonus, whoever holds the throne when the random timer goes off gets a bonus point on the board. We're going to go ahead and move on. Welcome back, Gogs. Good to see you. You missed the first hour. That's okay. Battery died. Welcome back. Welcome back, Gabby, as well. We're going to go ahead and keep playing. Moving on, we're going to play Blurt. We'll do a couple rounds of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be in and out to the players. The first definition is a piece of land where food, crops, and animals are raised. I did that question the other day. I'll still give the points out. Farm, that is a point for... Oops. Oh, man, there is hundreds of tokens around the mouse for this. laptop, so it's not easy to use. There we go. All right, farm is correct. Javier and Gogs got it. All right. Gogs, welcome to the scoreboard as a former champion. You are entered in as red. Gogs and Javier, I know I didn't change the tokens yet, but you guys know the rules. The last people I said were the champ, get the point, are the champions, even if I haven't changed the tokens yet. Gogs, I gotta find your card. There we go. All right, moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to first person to tell me the correct definition for either word will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: a stand with 3 legs, used especially to support a camera or telescope. The second definition: a signal for help sent by a ship or aircraft in trouble. Hey, Rhino, welcome back. Welcome back, Rhino. We have tripod. That's a point for plastic. And SOS. That is a point for Javier. Family friendly, guys. Javier. And plastic. Who has Elmo piece? Elmo piece is Robert Hunley is the Elmo piece. Moving on to another game, we're going to go ahead and play Think and Sync. I learned today how hard a unicycle actually is. I watched a video on how to learn it, and it was very difficult, and I was very confident, so I just tried to go, and I almost got really hurt. That's okay, I'll try again later. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. Welcome back, Rhino. The first 2 people to say the same thing in the realm of the question will both get a point on the scoreboard. I'm trying to defeat the cheese god, and I need assistance. I love cheese. I'm on the cheese god side. Name a color on a traffic light. Oh, guys, that was a horrible tripod typo, but you were not first on my screen. Man, that was rough. We have red, Javier and Maddie. Javier, Maddie. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first 2 people to say the same thing will both get a point on this scoreboard. Name an animal seen on the road. We have, I think, deer. Let me just check. Hey, Josh, welcome back. Fox, raccoon, frog, snake, badger, deer, skunk, deer. Yes, it would be deer for Josh and Maddie. Josh, welcome back, and welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. Josh, number 10 on the scoreboard, so you will have the number 10 token, and red as a red token since you are a former champion. We're playing King of the Hill right now as the bonus game. Josh kicking off Javier from the throne. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first 2 people to say the same thing will both get a point. No problem, Josh. Thanks for popping in. Saying hi, appreciate it. Yeah, you got on the scoreboard during your hi and bye. That's cool. Name a kind of road vehicle other than a car or truck. And for Think and Sync, if I tell you cannot name something, then you do not get a point for naming it. Name a kind of road vehicle other than a car or truck. We have Bus, Sasso, and Javier. Moving on to another round. Excuse me. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, Rhino. Got you. My apologies on that. I had to debate whether or not I was going to flush that or not. I unhid your sister from the channel. Yeah, sorry about that. I unhid your sister from the channel. I just saw the name and I just didn't know if it would be somebody. Some people come in. Sometimes when people have an too inappropriate name, that one, it's right there. I wait to see what they're gonna say to flush it, but then sometimes I just want to just move on because most often than not, when somebody comes in with an inappropriate name, I have to flush them anyway, and I've learned it's just better to just do it and keep going. But I did unhide them, so they should be able to come back. It is an inappropriate name for sure, though. All right, we have Sasso and Javier. First ever plunge. In doubt, flush it out. Sasso and Javier getting the bonus point. Oh, that's funny. Moving on to another round. Well, yeah, because people we have. I try to keep it very fluid when we're competing. When somebody's competing for the Hall of Champions, which somebody's in the lead right now, and so I do try to respect the format. Name a bug that doesn't fly. This is Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will get a point. Name a bug that doesn't fly. I am in a much better mood and place than last night. Ant, Gogs, and Javier. Last night was rough. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Name a bug that bites. Remember the answer does not have to be correct. There's also a lot of species of ants. A bug that bites. That would be Gog and Javier. Again, Javier and Gogs. Gog, my bad. Better than Googs. I typed Googs earlier. At least I don't say Googs. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. First two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. Name a flower that blooms in the spring. Rose, Plastic, and Javier. We have Plastic, Javier. Moving on to another round. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people say the same thing. We'll look at a point on the scoreboard. Name a white flower. Lily, Gogs, and Maddie. All right, moving on to another round. So we're going to move on to another game. We're going to go ahead and go back to justifiable thoughts for a little bit. How justifiable thoughts works is I have you guys name something, starting with a random letter. The first two people to give me a justifiable answer, starting with the random letter that I choose, we'll both get a point on the scoreboard. Awesome. Glad you guys like it. Name an animal that could wear a kilt. Starting with the letter C. Ridiculous answers. All right, we definitely have justifiable answers. Oh. Wrong button. Wrong keyboard, I should say. All right, starting at the top, we have a cat. Oh my God. There are pictures of cats wearing kilts on the internet. So it is definitely justifiable, and it's hilarious as well. If you guys want to look it up sometime, it's pretty funny. Just Google it. All right, we have technical difficulties. Typed on the wrong keyboard. Cat is a justifiable answer, and the first two answers are both cat, which makes it easy. Javier and Richard. There's pictures of everything in a kilt. Fair enough. Javier and Richard. By law in Scotland, you have to force kilts onto your pets. Plastic, can you confirm or deny that? I can't put it past Scotland at this point after the unicorn being your guys' national animal. I just can't put it past Scotland. No, that is not true. You guys should maybe see about making it true. Sasso, just that. Oh, that's a good law. Oh man, that's goofy. Name something you would hate to run into in a jungle, starting with the letter S. All right, we have definitely justifiable answers here. So, Gogs, you said a snake. I would definitely say most people would hate to run into a snake in the jungle, so I'm going to give that to you. Sasso, I'm really stuck on shark right now. I agree that I would hate to run into a shark. Somebody said Richard said Shrek. You know, I don't think you could run into a shark in a jungle. You maybe could in a river somehow. Scary yet also confusing. Yeah, that part I think would make it even scarier is the fact that it shouldn't be in the jungle. So, Sasso, I would say it's still justifiable that I would hate to run into a shark in the jungle. So, Sasso, I think that's still justifiable. Even though you probably won't run into a shark, it makes it even scarier. So we're going to go ahead and give it to you, Sasso. I'm amazed you're giving that. Well, it's What did I ask? Name something you would hate to run into in a jungle. I would not be happy to run into a lot of things in a jungle. If I ran into a shark, I would definitely not be happy. I'd be amazed and I would also be scared. I thought I had to worry about other things. Sasso and Gogs are getting the bonus point, even though I did not put the pieces up. Sasso and Gogs. Moving on to another round of Snake was right. The first person said it was Gogs, and then Shark first. Sasso. Moving on to another round. Shit. Name something you could not defeat in a fight with a bow and arrow, starting with the letter M. Thank you for the clarification. All right, I'm stuck on Gogs' answer right now on monster. Name something you could not defeat in a fight with a bow and arrow. Can you defeat a monster? If you define monster, an imaginary creature that is typically large, ugly, and frightening. But another definition of monster is an inhumanely cruel or wicked person, and you could defeat a person with a bow and arrow. So, Gogs, I'll give it to you. Plastic, you said madness. It's abstract, but you could probably not calm down madness with a bow and arrow. In fact, you would probably make whatever is going mad, whatever's causing the madness worse with a bow and arrow. So I would not say you'd be able to defeat it with a bow and arrow more often than not. So I'm going to give it to you for madness. Gogs and Plastic will get it. That was a good abstract answer. I like it. If you give shark and not monster, hey, I gave it to you. I just heard your comment. I gave it to you. It's justifiable. It's justifiable. A bow and arrow would only make madness worse. I agree. Gosh, you're gonna see a shark in the jungle one day and you'll be terrified. Yeah, and your last thoughts will be like, all right, he earned the point. Moving on to another round of justifiable thoughts. All right, guys, moving on to another round of justifiable thoughts. The first two people to give me a justifiable answer, starting with the random letter that I choose, will get a point. Name something you could send back in time that would confuse a caveman, starting with the letter P. Fantastic. Oh, man. All right, we definitely have some justifiable answers. Pringles. Oh, my God. Do you think they would eat them? Ah, that's an interesting question. All right, we have PC and phone. It would definitely confuse a caveman. Gogs and Javier. Oh, and it went off as I was saying it, so you guys are both getting 2 points. A Pikachu. Oh, my God. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to another game. We're going to go ahead and move on to another game. We're going to move on to... we're going to do a round of Family Feud. Moving on to another round of Family Feud. Up to 6 points can be handed out to the players. I'm feuding with you. Name an activity at which you failed the first time you tried. Name an activity at which you failed the first time you tried. It's a very ironic time to mess up the word impressed, Gogs. I'll give you guys a hint. Sport is not specific enough, and it does. There are 2 to 3 sports-ish on here. There's 3 sports. There's like almost, no, there's 4 sports in a sense, kind of on here. Not directly, but 2 of them are directly sports and kind of. And a couple non-sports that I think were already gotten. Yep. Nope. All right, I think we have plenty of answers, so I'm going to go ahead and put done in the chat. I'll accept the answers above when I said done, and the first person to get the correct answer will get a point. Starting at the top, we have test. Maddie, you said test driving. Test is on here, so you're going to go ahead and get the point. And then we have skating. Ice/roller skating is on here. Point for Javier. Unicycling was hard. I tried it earlier, and I almost really got hurt. And decided it was a bad idea to be overzealous on that one and take a little bit more time. Cycling, plastic, riding a bike is on here, so you're going to go ahead and get that. Oops. Yeah, I got a unicycle a couple months ago at this point, actually, and I'm trying to learn how to ride it, but I've only been on it a couple times. Richard, you said golf. Golf is on here. You're going to go ahead and get that point. I can juggle. Not with fire yet, but I plan on learning sometimes when I want to get a fire stick as well, but that's not going to be for any time soon. I don't think anybody said it. The other two answers that were on here were skiing and learning to drive. Where do you just find a unicycle? Facebook Marketplace. Actually, you have a really good tip real quick to learn how to juggle. If you really want to learn how to juggle, you can take the plastic grocery bags, and then you can practice. And instead of your hands like this, you go like this, and you practice the motion with the 3 plastic bags, because they float so slow to the store that you get to practice the muscle memory, and then you move on to balls. It helps me learn in less than a day. I mean, in one day from watching the video, I was able to learn juggling. I've been doing it for 8 years, on and off, as for fun. Moving on to another round of Family Feud. Up to 6 points can be handed out to the players. Name an expense in the family budget. Shopping is not specific enough, because a couple things fall under that, so I can't give it out to that. Shopping here means groceries, bro. Awesome. Cool, I will accept it. Thank you for the clarification, Gogs. You guys know I'm very, very, very lenient when it comes to you guys across the pond. Let me go ahead and say done. Richard, you're getting the bonus point. Yeah, in the U.S., it is very common that you hear that people have to go grocery shopping. But if you just say shopping, we'll just go ahead and I'll give it to you then, Gogs, for food. Gogs, thank you for clarifying. Gogs, you said rent, housing / mortgages on here. I will go ahead and give it to you. You call groceries messages as well? That's a really odd one. I've never heard that. Groceries are called messages? What do you guys call text? Text messages. What do you guys call text messages? What do you guys call, like, letters? It's super weird. Super interesting. Love learning the differences. Plastic, you said phone. SMS. Just text. I was thinking like I haven't heard SMS in probably since high school. Phone, that's going to go to plastic. A way to get your messages. Interesting. Sometimes I can't tell if you guys are messing with me. If I'm going to be 100% honest, I sometimes cannot tell if you guys are messing with me. Because it's just, the wording just can be vastly different. Richard, you said gas utilities is on here, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. You know, you could mean gas for a car. However, it'll count for utilities, because it could be either or. Javier, you said clothes. You're getting a point. And there's one left. What are nappies? Oh, I think you guys said that those were diapers. I think you guys said that those were diapers the other day. Richard, you said insurance, and this is the closest one to car, so I will give it to you because you need insurance for your car and many other things. So, Richard, I'll give it to you there. That was the last one I was looking for. We're not messing with you, bruh, or are we? I don't know. I could see shopping being groceries, but the messages ones, I just... Gas is what comes out our cooker. Yeah, us too. Gas comes out of our cooker, but it also, we put it in our... we put it in our cars. Nappy in states refers to hair, isn't it? Yeah, like really unkept hair, I believe. Like nappy hair is like it's an informal, apparently offensive word to use. Oops. I never knew it was considered that. Moving on to another round of Family Feud. See, I bothered no states. Plastic is a proud Scottish. You know more about Scotland than I do about the U.S., that is for sure. All right, guys, we have 16 and a half minutes before the champion is announced. We're going to go ahead and play Think and Sync. Moving on to another game, we're going to play Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing. We're going to point on the scoreboard. How instead of why? How do you say that? How do you go to the bank? There's no way. Why did you do that? How did you do that? I don't know. That's kind of, it could be used for... that's a weird one. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will get a point on the scoreboard. Your answer does not have to be correct. It has to be in the realm of the question. Skipping that one. We're going to do a round of fill in the blank. We have Al blank. We still also use Y. Well, that's good. Can you guys use that in a sentence, please? Can you guys use that in a few sentences? You guys shut that off when you're talking to other people? Al blank. You guys said much. Al. Guys, it's actually A-L as an owl, like a name. I can see... No, I could see that was just a confusing one. So I'm just going to give it to much. I realized when you said I'll do the dishes, that sound owl and owl are too close, and that was seriously confusing because the answers were all very, very different. Owl much. I'm just gonna give it to Richard and Javier. We're gonna move on. They said the same thing. That it was a rough one. My apologies on that. Moving on to another round. I hope you're having an okay day, Plastic. I'm glad you can come here and relax. I don't know what you said, so I copied. I figured you did, to be honest. It's okay, but you got to do that sometimes. Name a superhero with a cape. Did you say oh or ow, ow, ow? Yeah, that was a lot of confusion. My apologies. We have Superman, Plastic, and Javier. I'm gonna make sure that this is still on. Somebody say caveman? You just say caveman, Plastic. All right, moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will get a point. Name a city in a superhero lives in. Name a city a superhero lives in. Plastic and Javier are getting the bonus point. We definitely have two of the same. We have Gotham, Plastic, and Gogs. Moving on to another round. Name a superhero vehicle. I also only knew Gotham. Name a super. I thought it would be go to Batmobile. That was also the only one I knew. Batmobile, Gogs, and Plastic. Again, holding down that throne. Moving on to another round. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. Oh. Wonder Woman has an invisible plane. Oh, I see, Maddie, how you could have gotten Batmobile the Noble. Okay, actually, sorry, Plastic, fair is fair. I have to give it to Gogs and Maddie. All right. Plastic. I have to take one of your points away. Give it to Maddie. Actually, I just have to clean this up at this point. Nope, nothing to be sorry about. Thank you for letting me know. You guys know I'm lenient. Eventually, if it gets, yes, fair is fair. Eventually, if this gets to the point where we have a lot of people in here, I'm gonna have to start being strict just for the fluidity of the game. This is hopefully a long time from now. I'll have to start being strict of autocorrects won't be accepted. I'll even one day, hopefully I don't have to do this, but I might have to not accept typos and make things really fluid. Is Xena a superhero? I've never heard. Moving on, but that's not anytime soon. I have several other ways to be able to slow down the chat if need be and to scale the chat with the audience. So this right here, this is the beginning of my villain story. Oh no. Oh no, I don't even, do I have a, all right, we're stopping it right here. Plastic, you got to keep your evil plans to yourself. Otherwise, we're going to find you before you even start. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point. Name something a baby sleeps in. Crib, Plastic, and Javier. Plastic and Javier. Oh, arms is a good one. Name something you feed a baby. Another round of Think and Sync. Milk, Sasso, and Plastic. There you go. I have to be careful not to do that because this is sitting on a screen. Moving on to another round. Yeah, but actually, Bottle was still a close second, though, because 2 people still said Bottle. So remember, it's Think and Sync. You guys' answer don't have to be right. They have to just be in the realm of the question. Name a tropical fruit tree. Mango, Plastic, and Javier. Oh, there's your goat. Anything's tropical and Scottish. Moving on to another round. Name a tree cut to make furniture. Yeah, that was a rough typo on orange, but that is okay. I probably would have been able to pick it up if... Yeah, I think I would have been able to pick that one up. Pine, Plastic, and Richard. Sometimes, and I'm glad you guys pointed out, sometimes I really do... I have to read the answer so fast, I can't always tell when something is or isn't a typo. Plastic and Richard. Plastic, there you are. Plastic dominating that throne for a few rounds. A tree which produces a sap that's processed and sold. Name that. Think and Sync. Oh, wow, I did that backwards a sec. Champions announced in 6 minutes. Like a villain, would you say? Maple. Point for Javier and Maddie. Javier. Maddie. Kicking Richard and Plastic off the throne. Do you guys like that you can see the token now? I cut a couple slits. Oh, and Maddie and Javier, you guys are getting the bonus rounds. Or the bonus point for holding the throne. Yeah, I put some styrofoam up here and put a couple slits so that way I could hold the tokens. So you guys could actually see the numbers. I'd like to get it a little bit. You laughed so loud. Awesome. It's exciting. Good. I'd like to get this a little bit closer to the camera for you guys. All right, guys, we're going to do another fill in the blank. It went horribly last time, which is fair, but we're going to try this one again. Another round of Think and Sync. The first 2 people to say the same thing will get a point. Grape blank. Do I like Celsius energy drinks? I don't know if I've had one. I'm trying really hard to stop drinking energy drinks. Failing miserably because I have so much stuff to do, but it's a weak excuse and I really need to quit. I don't think I've tried them. Sasso and Javier got soda. If I have tried it, I've only tried it once, and it's been a long time, so I actually just don't have the answer. Moving on to another round. Yeah, to reload your page. Oh, in case you missed my answer, I don't think I've tried Celsius before. Rhino, welcome back. I don't think I've tried it. I'm trying to stop drinking energy drinks. Doing horribly because I got a lot of stuff to do, but I'm pretty sure I have not tried it. Another round of fill in the blank. We're playing Think and Sync. The first 2 people to say the same thing will both get a point. Green blank. Sorry you had bad internet. It's okay. Rhino, welcome back. I did unban your sister. Debatably so. Green blank. Day. We have Sasso and Javier said day. Perfect. Still on the throne. All right, another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will get a point. It's another fill in the blank. Blank phone. Sell, Maddie and Rhino. Rhino, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. Rhino, you're number 11 on the scoreboard, so you will have the number 11 token red since you're a former champion. We're playing King of the Hill right now, but we actually only have a few minutes left. And if you have a piece, please let me know. I don't have it written down if you do. Hey, Doobie, welcome back. We only have less than 2 minutes left today. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point. We're doing a fill in the blank. We have window blank. Yeah, Spirit. Window blank. Well, I'll give it to Gogs and Doobie for pain. Doobie, welcome back and welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. You're number 12 on the scoreboard, which means you have the number 12 token. It'll be red since you're a former champion. Moving on to another round, we have 30 seconds left. This will be the last round. Moving on to another round of Think and Sync. The first two people to say the same thing will both get a point on the scoreboard. We're going to do another... Okay, name... Name the opposite of tropical. What game are you... Hey, James, welcome. We're actually right at the end. It's the last round. Names. We have cold. Name something opposite of tropical. Cold. Maddie and Rhino. And we are out of time for the day. And that means I'm going to pause the timer. Did my... that should be a do not disturb. My apologies. Oh, actually, I have... I don't know. I actually don't know what phone that came from. I have 6 phones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 phones out right now, and I have no clue what phone that just came from. I lost my phone right before the phone that I had the timer on right before I started it, and almost all of my phones were dead, and so I had to hurriedly plug them all in and find out which one had the timer on it for King of the Hill, and it turns out I just lost the right one. So, yeah. And I knew it was one of 5 of these phones that I grabbed. All right, guys, that is the end. That was 1 hour. We're 1 hour and 56 minutes in, but I started that question right before 1 hour and 55. As always, Javier, 7,826 points ahead of the rest of us. Jeez. Got a lot. We're going to go ahead and read the points out. Starting with the former champions, Luke Duke, you have 7, Sasso. 17, Richard. 19, Javier. 5, 10, 25, 30, 35, 36. Javier is 7,836 minus 7,800. So he has 36. W has 11. Plastic. 22, Jeff Mom 2. Gogs. 15, Josh 1. Rhino 2. Doobie 2. 1, my apologies. And now to announce the new champion who's been coming here for a while and has finally made it into the Hall of Champions. Coming first place with 19 points. I'd like to answer the new champion. It's Maddie. Welcome to the Hall of Champions. Next time you play, your name will be written in red. I might have read your points wrong, but you actually got 19 points, not 15. Oh, Maddie. Good stuff. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead and add your name right now into the Hall of Champions. Congratulations. You've been coming here for a while and have had some good fights. You are number 66. 66 in the Hall of Champions. He's playing in my shed, so I get the answers first. Oh, man. Guys, it's the end of my villain era. My real name is Hannah. Okay. Would you like to be called Maddie or Hannah? That's funny. It's the end of my villain era. Now you just enter the Hall. And next time you play, you will be entered into the Hall of Champions, and then you will have a red token. I don't care. I'll probably keep calling you Maddie if that's okay. It's easier because it's right there next to your name. But I can, if you prefer, call you Hannah. I can just write it down. Ryan. My real name is Ryan. Well, thank you for the clarification, Rhino. Plastic, fantastic. You're a real... On the other hand, I'll never reveal my true identity. Well, you shouldn't, because you've declared a life of being a villain earlier. You said hello, Earl? Somebody said... Did I miss something? Oh, Richard, you said my name is Earl. Javier said hello, Earl, so I was looking back for somebody who joined. Richard, would you prefer to be called Earl or Richard? Earl. Am I saying that right? Earl? I think I've only met one person named Earl before. Paul Francis. Okay, Guys, as per requested, Gogs did want to start going off of Googs. So, if you guys could refer Gogs as Googs, you would greatly appreciate it. Gogs, I'm so sorry. You said no and I deleted your comment. I'm deleting that one too. I got Googs would like to be pronounced Googs. All right, I'll stop messing around. Googs. Trusty's jamming me. Google. No, I'm just messing with Googs. Googs would like to stay Gogs. Poor Googs. Sharon. Oh no. I'm definitely deleting that one. Oh man. All right, Gogs, you win. Oh, that's good. Google's kind of an interesting. That's a really goofy one. Did. I concur. Karen. Oh no. I like Google. Google's kind of a funny one. All right, guys, we are not gonna play any more today because I do have to eat and do some other things. Javier said he would like to go by Jake. Would it be Hake? Go from Javier to Hake? You can call him Javier. Jake and bake. Eat something that's not chocolate. I am out of chocolate, so unfortunately I do have to eat the fruit that I have. All right, guys, this is another fun game show. I'm gonna. I remember all the tokens I have to clean up now. All right, guys, I am going to clean up, and I'll be here for usually a few more minutes while I clean up. However, today it's going to be several more minutes because I have 750 bingo tokens I dropped a couple minutes before starting the game, and I'm just going to pick them up now so I can keep talking to you guys for a few minutes. You're welcome, Plastic. Thank you guys all again for coming back. Hey, you call me Sharon one more time, Gogs, and I'm going to start calling you Googs. Chevron. Bye-bye, Sharon. Yeah, no, Sharon's out. You started this. I'm not gonna lie, I did start it. I did. Yeah, I can't be too mad. We sound like 5-year-olds. Scottish keeps things going. That's good. Play some music. I really need some outro music. I think it's some. Yeah, this is the intro music, so I don't want to confuse that. So everyone else got. I gotta catch up from yesterday. I had a unproductive day yesterday because I went to record with my new mic, and then after recording some videos, I went to go edit the videos, and I found out that that's when I found out the mic was horrible quality, so I had to redo them today. So I am a day behind on my other stuff, which sucks, but it's okay. So I have to catch up, otherwise I would game longer. But I've got to stick to a very specific schedule. Suspenseful cleaning up music. What videos? It's for the Practical Gaming Center tutorial videos. So I've got quite a lot to make, and the ones I made last night are with the mic that is horrible quality, and I didn't realize that till after I filmed. And it sucks because I made like 15 very short videos to test the mic, and somehow it went right over my head that the actual quality of it was horrible, and so I didn't realize that until I already filmed the other tutorial videos. You can put on some Mozart on to relax us. That shouldn't be copyrighted. I'm going to go on a walk. I've been indoors all day. I should probably go on a walk too, to be honest, because I've been indoors all year. I had a really good spring where I went out, to California a couple times. I even drove to Texas to pick up all my stuff from the divorce. It was a fun road trip from Chicago. And I hitchhiked. I had a really, really good spring. But ever since spring, ever since all that, I've been busy working so much. Hey, Default, welcome. We're kind of at the end right now. We are at the end, so I'm just cleaning up, and so we're just hanging out. How you doing, Default? Been a while since I've seen you. Hope everything's good in your world. Hit it. Nope, it's still Shannon. You can call me whatever you want, but I'm only responding to Shannon. There's so many tokens. So many tokens. Oh, they're everywhere. I just come back and I read you can milk a unicorn. What is going on? There is actually a lot of Scottish people in here. I think 4, maybe 5. 4, maybe 5 Scottish people in here. Yeah, there is a lot of Scottish people in here. I mean, one day I might. For a country of 6 million, we seem to get around. You guys only have 6 million? There's more people within 2 hours, within a 2 to 3 hour drive of me. There's more than 6 million people within 2 to 3 hours of drive. Well, I forget how big the U.S. is. Scotland's not that big compared to the U.S. relative to the U.S. Which is probably an unfair comparison because the U.S. is the 4th biggest country in the world by landmass, so that's kind of always going to be an unfair comparison. We only need 6 million. Only nation undefeated by Rome. That's kind of cool, actually. Hey, did the Vikings come from Scotland? Didn't the Vikings come from Scotland? Or I can't remember where the Vikings come from. That's a lot of people. Javier, that's the same population as our hometown. Maddie, I think they're called kilts where they're from. Oh, they came from Scandinavia. I think that's the only correction that they would really prefer in your statement, is that they like to milk unicorns at the end of the rainbow in kilts. And I think the only offensive thing in that is skirts. We don't wear them. Good question. Oh, so many tokens. Thanks for the lesson on Scotland, guys. You guys teach me so much about Scotland. I have a friend whose parents emigrated from Scotland. I used to have a Shetland pony. What is is a Shetland pony? Is that the dwarf pony? I think that's the dwarf pony. I go to check and I have the cats in kilts pulled up. What is a Shetland pony? Oh, yeah. These are the little dwarf ponies, aren't they? Yeah, yep, that's what I thought. Okay. So when fun fact about the Shetland ponies, well, fun personal fact. When I was on the Appalachian Trail, was it 2 years ago at this point? My ex-wife and I, we were. There's a part of the Appalachian Trail that runs. It's called Grayson Highlands, and it's filled with wild ponies, and they're Shetland ponies. I had to Google it to fact check, but yeah, they're so it was cool. We were kind of excited to get up there. It's at the top of a mountain range with like dozens and dozens and dozens of Shetland ponies and stuff. And when we finally got up there, because we were still coming out of spring by the time we finally got up there, we actually, right before, we literally just got to the edge of the range of where the ponies were. Well, then we were stuck in a blizzard for 5 days, 4 nights in a blizzard, and it was 9 degrees Fahrenheit, which for you Celsius people, it would be -12 Celsius for you guys. My ex-wife and I were in a blizzard for 5 days, 5,000 feet up in elevation, in -9 Fahrenheit, -12.77 degrees Celsius. But once that was over, we ran into the ponies, which is kind of cool. Although the novelty wore off for me very fast, because within 5 minutes, one of those ponies bit my water bladder that I hiked with to hold my water, and ruined it. That novelty wore off fast. There's so many tokens. There's 16 mil in New York. So it's kind of weird when you look at the so like New York definitely has the biggest. We have how many people are actually in the city, and then how many people are in the city and surrounding. Horses live to hassle us. Yeah, horses are definitely, I think they're pretty intelligent, but man, they definitely mess with people. There are loads of U.S. presidents who are part Scottish. That's cool. Coincidentally, I've seen like 6 Shetland ponies in the last week. That's cool. Is that unicorn enough? Yes, Richard, I just saw it. Your Shetland pony is unicorn enough. Oh, Matt, were you affected by Hurricane Helene? 16 million. The population of New York is similar to UK. Wow. Oh, I think I'm actually part Scottish now that I think about it. I did that ancestry thing a while ago. I can't remember. I'm going to check. I cannot remember. All right, Plastic, have a good one. Enjoy your walk. Be back in a few days. Let you guys know in a community post and in the Discord when the next one will be. And of course, the time as well. Do a dance. No, Richard, I'm not. I'm not dancing. Request denied. I'm not dancing. All right, dude, you have to get down here and get these tokens that are on the ground everywhere. Oh, man. All right, I like everything about my new system except for the tokens after they just fell. Show us some moves. Nope. It's under the table. Tokens are under the table. That's what's under the table. Dropped a lot of these bingo chips or whatever you call them. Chips, tokens, same. I did not find a leprechaun. What a mess. I don't think we're on tomorrow, no. Nope, I'm not sure when the next day was going to be. Might be tomorrow. I don't know. No, it's not. No, never mind. Today's Monday. I think. No, we're not going to do tomorrow. I'll let you guys know, though. All right, guys, everybody have a great day. Thank you for another fun stream. You guys helped reduce my stress a lot, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, guys. Guys, unfortunately, I cannot do 6 days a week until I move on to until I just move into my own place because of the environment here. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm just working really hard. So that way I can move on. And once I move on, I'd like to go back to I'd like to go back to 6 days a week. Until then, though, I have to focus on getting out. We need 5 minutes or fines. Oh, I'm out. Thank you guys again for another great stream. Let you guys know in the Discord and in the community post when I'll be back. Everybody have a great day.